Hey everyone, good morning, good evening, maybe having a good night, a good afternoon. Thank you for joining me in today's study and building of this project. I just want to expand my screen and to make sure all is going well on this other side concerning the audio. All right, looks good. So let's continue building and working on this project. It's been an amazing journey, and today is another day where I hope to get more success with it. Many of you have shared with me the projects that you've built. I remember telling you to own this project, customize it, make it your own for every concept and every feature we build. And I see many of you have done that and you've been sharing with me some of the things you've been doing. I like that. So today we want to talk about how we're going to supply secrets to our application. In the past, we've had raw configuration, meaning the raw sensitive data, and the sensitive data being given to our backend. But the non-sensitive information has been supplied to our application using the config in the values.yaml. And then we had the secrets being given by the backend secret, which was something we were planning to do in the future. Okay, but now that future has now come, and now I want to have a uniform interface whereby the supply, can I call it this application or the process by which the secrets are supplied to our backend is uniform across development, staging, and production. Of course, I know that word I've used application may not exist, so my apologies. All right, now let's get into this, and I want to explain to you how our application will get the secret. So this secret will be given to us, like using Doppler. You can use other tools like Vault. Okay, I was trying to look into Vault and trying to apply it to this application, but I discovered Vault has other steps, okay, extra steps, and I thought Doppler is much more simple. Okay, so using Doppler, we are going to have a tool called a Doppler operator. Okay, and this Doppler operator will help us, okay, to watch the secrets in the Doppler cloud. And when any secret is changed, updated, or deleted, the Doppler operator will sense that and pull those changes into the new secret called the backend secrets. And it will cause our applications to restart. The deployments will restart. And so our applications running in the pods will get new values every time they are restarted. Why? Because a container only has the environment variables supplied to it at the time when you are running it or creating the container. After that, if the environment variables are updated, then you need to restart it. Okay, so the Doppler operator will be responsible for that. But to get this Doppler operator, we shall need to, number one, install the Doppler Helm chart repository. Then using that Doppler Helm chart repository, we shall be able to do awesome things. Okay, so something else I wanted to touch before we go into the scripts. I think on the YAML, I think that's what I wanted to say. I feel like I've not left out anything. If there's anything I've left out, then I will let you know. So for us to have the Doppler operator working, okay, it needs a resource, okay, a Kubernetes resource, a Doppler secret Kubernetes resource. And this resource will tell the Doppler operator what secret to create, what kind of computation to look out for. Okay, and that is why we have a backend secrets directory here. So this backend secrets directory will be a Helm chart responsible for giving us that Doppler secret resource that the Doppler operator will use to get particular information that it needs. Okay, and I've made it separate because we need the Doppler operator set up and working before our application. Why? Because the migration job needs a database URL. Okay, so we shall have the Doppler operator set up and complete, then the migration job, then our API and worker can be deployed. So when you look at it here, it is a simple YAML file that I created, and similar to every other YAML file that we have had. Okay, here's the API version, which again simply refers to the version of the format that we are writing the Helm specification. It does not mean that this is Helm version 2. Then the name of this chat is called Backend Secrets, and the description simply says Doppler secret synchronization for everyone ventures, and the type is an application because we're going to actually do an application deployment, okay, of that operator and the whole setup, okay. And then the version is simply referring that this chat, okay, is version 1, on the version minor 1, okay. The first 0 means we don't have any major version, and then the next one means we have a minor version as 1, or the first minor version. And then in values.yaml, of course, values.yaml will simply explain what we're going to do in the templates. So the first one is a Doppler secret. Okay, so Doppler secret simply refers to the resource that the Helm chart will help us to create, and its name will be Arrow backend. As simple as that. Then we have the token secret. So token secret refers to a secret that the Doppler operator will use for authentication. Before the operator pulls or fetches or downloads secrets from the cloud, it needs to authenticate with Doppler Cloud. Okay, so this token secret will be used for authentication. So Doppler operator sends an authentication request using this token secret to Doppler Cloud, and then Doppler Cloud will give it the secrets, and then those secrets can be baked into the secret we've been talking about. Okay, and that secret is called backend secrets. Again, I repeat, token secret is an authentication value that the Doppler operator will use to authenticate with Doppler Cloud to pull or download secrets into a secret called backend secrets. And the name of that secret used for authentication is called Doppler token secret. Then we have Doppler specific config for our project. Okay, so this will refer to the project name in Doppler. Okay, so it will be maybe, for example, Airbound Ventures. Okay, if your company is called maybe YouTube, it will be project called YouTube. You get. But for now, it is going to be empty. We're going to supply it, okay, at runtime or deployment time. Why? Because these values can change. Okay, they can change. So if it is a development project, it will be development project or something like that. Even the config will change. Okay, for a particular project, you can have config for development, you can have config for staging, you can have config for what is it called, production. Okay, for a particular project. So I left them empty and they'll be supplied, like you're going to see. Okay, very easy to be set. Then we have the managed secret. Okay, so managed secret.name refers to the actual secret which will be created by the Doppler operator. So when the Doppler operator creates the token secret, not creates the token secret, but uses the token secret to authenticate with Doppler Cloud, it will download the secrets from Doppler Cloud, and then we'll create a secret called backend secrets, okay, which will have all the sensitive and non-sensitive data. And that's the direction actually I'm going. Okay, I want all sensitive environment variables and non-sensitive environment variables to come from Doppler, and that is going to be uniform across development, staging, and production. It is going to give us a uniform kind of setup and a predictable setup. Then we have a namespace. So namespace simply refers to the target namespace we want to create these backend secrets. Okay, and that will be the namespace error dev that we've been using for our Kubernetes can I say cluster. All right, so I'll close this, and of course now if you go to the templates, it simply mirrors this. So if I close this and maybe just drop this down a little bit since we are not in the terminal yet, okay, you can see that now at the first line we have the API version, okay, which refers to secrets.doppler.com v1 alpha, okay, as the version, and the kind is a Doppler secret. So our Helm chart is going to deploy a resource whose kind is, or whose kind or type is a Doppler secret. And like you've seen, we have made a study of several resources, okay, or resource types or object types in Kubernetes, from secrets to config maps to deployments to migration jobs, or just a job, to services, okay, to pods, which has been awesome. Then for the usual metadata, we have the Doppler secret name, okay, which simply comes from here, what I showed you earlier in values.yaml. So let me open these two. So you see that values.dopplersecret.name is simply refers to this one here, dopplersecret.name. So it's the name of this resource that is going to be deployed. Then the namespace says release.namespace. Simply is this value here, okay? No, actually, sorry. The release.namespace does not come from these values, but simply comes from the Helm command, okay? When we do Helm, okay, for example, if I do Helm upgrade, okay, minus install, okay, then I'll put the release name, like for example, error, like that, error B. That will be the release name. So I'll close this, continue. Then, so you see that this is common for every template we've been working with. And after that, we have another spec here, okay, which is now gives us the actual specification that we need, okay. In the spec, we have spec.tokensecret, and it has a name, okay. That name comes from values.tokensecret.name, which is this one here, okay, tokensecret.name. That's the secret used for authentication, okay. Which namespace? The same namespace. You get. All right. Then I'll close that. We go to the project. The name of the project name is actually required, okay. That's why you see Doppler project, okay, is wrapped around this is required block, okay, meaning if it is not there, then it will fail, okay. And it comes from values.doppler.project, okay. It is right here, okay, doppler.project. Then we have at the end quote. So quote simply means it will be put in single quotes as Kubernetes expects it. Then the config, the actual config we want, is it config for staging, production, development? It also comes from values.doppler.config, and it's placed in quotes. If you look at this part, it's also required, okay? If it's not there, then we get an error. Then finally, for the managed secret, the name of the secret which will be actually created, okay, comes from here, managed secret.name, like I showed you, okay. Then you have the namespace. It is also required, okay, and comes from values.managedSecret.namespace, and also wrapped in quotes. It's actually right here, okay, and will be dynamic, okay, not dynamic, it's already set, it's called backend secrets, okay, and the namespace will be the one that is dynamic. All right, so the name is already given, and the namespace will be dynamic, and the type is opaque. So I'll close this, close that, open. So you see, I've gone through this fast because we have done this over 5 times, okay? Yeah. So if you come to this other directory, now you see that I removed, if you go to, okay, let's start from here, okay? Step by step. If you go to values.yaml, okay? You see I changed a lot of things because now everything is going to come from Doppler. We now, if I go down here, you see that we don't have config anymore. You get? We don't have config anymore because we want to use only secrets. And the secret name will be backend secrets, like you've seen. And reload on change will be true. So that when our secrets are updated or changed or deleted, we want the deployment to be reloaded. So values of reload on change will be true by default for all environments. Okay. Then if I go to value staging, if you go to value staging and you go down here, you see the values for secrets and config have been removed. Okay. Why? It will of course automatically inherit from this one here. Okay. So if you go to prod, sorry, if I go to prod and I scroll, just open this and I scroll to the bottom, you see the same thing, okay? It will inherit directly from what we have here. So whatever is in prod here simply only overrides what we have the other side, okay? Awesome. Now we go to values dev. In values dev, we have an empty mapping. Why? Because this one here will inherit everything in values.dev. But if you want to override anything, like for example, maybe the number of replicas, we can put it here. Okay. But for now, we're not going to override anything because what is in values.dev is good enough for what is in values.yaml is good enough for values dev. And that is good for this project. I'm not going to change that. Okay. For now, it's an empty mapping. But later, if you want to change anything, you can come here and change. Maybe say worker, okay, worker dot replicas. Okay. Then you change the number of replicas you want for development. Okay. So close that. So you see, we're going to have only secrets, not config. Every value will come from here, from backend secrets. Then if you go to templates, it even gets more interesting. For API deployment, now we have here changes. Okay, we are saying that if the value.secrets.reload change is true, okay, then we add an annotation saying secrets.doppler.com/reload is true. So if the value is true, so if you go to values.dev, okay, you see that reload on change is true. So which means that here, okay, we shall have our deployment being reloaded when Doppler gets new environment variables. That is good. Let me see. So if you look here, we only have now env from secret.ref, okay, which is the existing secret name, which is the backend secret. So that's the only change we have here, okay? And it is similar for what we have in the migration job. The migration job also holds probably the same. No, I don't think I changed here, okay? Only down here, okay? That comes from the secret key ref, okay? And that's what we expect it to be, the database URL. So anything coming from config has been removed. No need for config map anymore, okay? But of course, if you need config map in your project, you can keep it. But I'm showing you that we don't need a config map. If I go to the worker deployment, I think we have the same, okay? So you see that the secrets.doppler.com reload, okay? This new annotation on 9, 6, and 7 will be applied if the values.secrets.reload change is true, okay? And we shall have our deployment for the worker being rerun in case we have changes. And you can see, like you see down here, the env.secretref is the only one that exists, okay? And points to the secrets.existing name, and it is required. Okay, so no config map. So those are the massive changes I've done. So I'll close that, close that. Then for the backend, I simply modified the readme, okay, nothing else. So I'll close that. Now I wrote a script to help us set this up for development, okay? But this is going to be automated for staging and prod, and you'll see that soon, okay? So this script is going to do simple thing, something simple, and I'm even thinking about how to improve it, okay? Yeah. So if you see on the line 1, we have a shebang, which simply means install, not install, but run this script using bash. Bash is the interpreter for this, as simple as that. Then to run the script, you need a number of requirements, okay? You need a K3D cluster. In the past 3 or 4 live streams, we installed the K3D tool, okay? Actually, I'm thinking maybe to make this script more robust, it should install K3D, okay, for you. Then after that, you should import your image into the K3D cluster, which means you should build your image and load it into the K3D cluster. If you've not done that, okay, it won't work, of course. But I think I have to update this script to make it more robust so that it installs K3D if not existing, then imports not imports, but builds the image. So let me repeat: install K3D, okay, create a cluster, build an image, import the image into the cluster, okay, then help you authenticate with Doppler, install Helm, okay, then run the Helm commands, and also install kubectl. So we can have that, okay, but maybe it's unnecessary, okay, it's unnecessary to have that in a simple script like this. So to run the script, simply do run this command, and you're going to see me run it at the end. So we have set minus EUO pipefall. What does this mean? So set minus E, first of all, means when an error occurs in this script, exit. As simple as that. Then U, the U simply means if there's a variable which is unset or not used, please fail this script. Then minus O means we are setting an option pipefall, minus O pipefall, which means when we're in a pipeline, okay, and anything fails, okay, let us stop this script. As simple as that in the pipeline. Then we have a number of variables, okay. The Kubernetes context is this one here, okay. This is the context that kubectl should be connected to in the K3D cluster. Okay, the namespace will be dev. It's what we're going to target. The backend values are in Helm backend values dev.yaml. Okay, for development, because this is a development script. You can make this into a what is it called? A makefile. Okay, you can use a makefile if you want. Okay, but I thought of a way that maybe Windows users can do this on WSL. Yeah, because Make is not on Windows, but I think WSL has Make, so I would have done that and it would have worked. Anyway, so the operator namespace is this one here, the Doppler operator namespace. The operator release name will be Doppler operator token secret, Doppler token secret, okay? Doppler secret release will be called error backend secret. The secret name, error backend. Backend release, error backend. So number of variables, okay, just put here as default values to avoid us typing them manually, okay. Then we read the developer's Doppler project, okay. Sorry, something is pinching me. So what you need to do, okay, make sure in your terminal, like I said, this script can be improved. In your terminal, ensure you do your Doppler login, okay. After Doppler login, do Doppler setup, okay. Don't forget that. So when you've logged in with Doppler, maybe I should add that in the script, okay? After you've logged in Doppler, your Doppler project should be picked from your config, okay, by this script, because it will say Doppler configure get project minus minus plain, okay? It will get your project automatically from Doppler for you, as long as you've logged in and set up. Then the config will be the value of Doppler configure get config minus minus plain. So the value of this will be either staging, production, or development. Then it simply prints, okay? It prints the context you're using, the namespace you're using, the Doppler project or config. Then we go down here, okay? We create a temporary read-only token for the selected Doppler config, okay? So you say token name will be K3D, okay? Then the dash, then the current date in this format, okay? The year, month, day, hour, minute, second, just like that, okay? Then we get now the Doppler service token, okay? It will be equals to the value of Doppler configs tokens create, okay? We pass that token name, it will be on line 34, okay? And specify the project for which we're creating that token, the config, okay? The access permissions, that this, we want only read permissions, okay? And it should last for 24 hours and should be just a plain string so that we can access it. All right. After that, we now install our repository for Doppler. Okay. So say Doppler Helm repo add Doppler. Okay. Using this URL and say force update. This will download, okay, the Doppler repository on our machine. Okay. Then you can say repo update Doppler. Okay. So once we have that, then we can say Helm upgrade minus install. Okay. We specify the release name from our variable. Okay, then you say Doppler operator, no, sorry, Doppler Kubernetes operator. Okay, so remember this now would be referring to what we talked about earlier. So upgrade will update in case we have our first installation or second installation or end installation successful. Then minus install works when we are doing it for the first time. Okay, so we put the release. Okay, then we say Doppler Kubernetes operator is what we are interested in. Remember, we are installing the Doppler Kubernetes operator that we can get from the repository that we just installed. After that, we specify the context, okay, the Kubernetes context or the kubectl context. We specify the namespace we're targeting, okay. So the context will help us point to a correct cluster, okay, and inside that cluster we can have several namespaces. So we want a particular namespace. If that namespace does not exist, then we create that namespace, okay. Then we specify the version and we say we need to wait for at least maybe 2, okay, a time of 2 minutes, just to make sure that everything is okay. Okay, we just set a timeout so that if it takes longer than this, then be like, no, stuff failed, okay, but it will pass. Then after that, okay, we have here kubectl, okay, we supply the actual context, okay, called Kubernetes context. Actually, when you're doing this from the terminal, you've realized we don't need to get the context. If you're maybe getting confused about this context, let me just remind you. Context simply refers to this value here, okay? When you say kubectl, okay, config, like we've been doing, and we say current dash context, okay? Look at it. It says K3 error backend dev, okay? It's what we are referring to as Kubernetes context. Oh, Nareda, long time. Okay, there's some names I see and I'm like, oh, I remember this name very clearly. I'm well. Yeah, I'm just hustling, like you see, like always. How are you doing? It's been a while. Where have you been hiding? You must have been cooking something really, really, really huge. Hope everything is going well for you. Thanks for joining. All right, so we specify the context, okay, because we in our script, okay, we have to be explicit about it every time. Then we say create namespace, okay, using that variable namespace, okay. Then we say minus dry run equals to client. We don't want to do an installation here, just do dry run, okay, minus o YAML, okay. Then kubectl minus context, okay. Then we say apply, okay, apply minus f with that dash. Then let me take this down, okay. Then we can simply print, okay, and have that Doppler service token, okay, and then have this pipe, okay. Then on the next line, but these, when you see these forward slashes, okay, it is different from this pipe, okay. The forward slashes is simply a continuation of a command, okay. It is not a pipe, it's not a Linux pipe. Like you see in this case, we have a Linux pipe. So this slanting, actually it's not a forward slash, sorry, it's a backward slash. It is simply a continuation of a command on the next line to avoid it spanning a line, okay, an entire line which could be too long, okay. So to avoid the command which is very long from spanning an entire line, we break it up by using this backward slash. Yeah, so it is different from this pipe. It's not a pipe. So like this line, okay, and this line is the same command. You get. All right. So we have the context again here being specified to kubectl. We have the namespace being specified, okay. Then we say create secret generic. It will pass the token secret. Okay, we're now creating the actual secret. You get. Then the command continues by saying from a file, okay, equals to service token. Okay, and it is passed to dev standard input. Okay, std in is standard input. So we have standard input, we have standard output, and standard error. Okay, and the same thing is going to be a dry run equals to client minus o YAML, then piped to kubectl minus context. Okay, so every time you're running kubectl in a script, make sure you specify the context. Okay, now Red, I don't know if you've dropped, okay, or you're back. Yeah, but I hope you're really doing well. It's been a while since you joined. So we have kubectl context being specified, okay, Then we do that application. Okay. After that, we now go to the usual stuff you've been seeing about in the past many live streams. Okay. Now look at this. We have this says, and narrator says your stream time is the same as my office time, so I'm not able to watch it live. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, because literally they in the morning. Yeah, they in the morning, 8 a.m. Yeah, back then I used to do them at 9 p.m. Sorry about that. Yeah, maybe in future I would change. I put back morning because I discovered 9 p.m. would find when I'm tired and sometimes I'm dragging in a live stream and my energy is low, so I put it early in the morning before I get to work. Because usually I do work starting from 9. Yeah, really sorry about that. You can always watch after. And very soon I'm going to get back to doing just videos instead of live stream. Of course, I'll continue with the live streams, but the videos will be more prominent. And maybe I can do live streams late. Where actually I want to do live streams in such a way that people can just join in on the call, okay? And we have a real chat, audio chat, not just text chat. Okay. I think it will be really awesome. Okay. Now we simply lint. Okay. So do Helm lint. Okay. This is the location of the Helm chat. Notice this, we are linting the backend secrets. Okay. Then you say minus minus strict. Then now we set the strings. Let me show you this. If I go back to Helm backend secrets and show you this, okay? Do you remember that the project and config were empty? Okay. So now we are setting them in the script. Yeah. Narendra, but how are you? You've not told me how you are. I hope you're really well. Hope you're really well. I was watching a podcast recently and the guys were talking and they're saying, I'm not saying you should do it, but it spoke to me. The lady said, and a gentleman, that usually when someone asks you, how are you? You say, I'm fine, I'm good. But he wanted an answer to that question to be a real description of what the person's life has been in their current day and maybe the past few weeks or past month. A narration of what has been happening to explain them being good or fine. Yeah. It passed some kind of message to me because sometimes you can ignore what is going on in the lives of the people around you and you just say, oh, I'm good. Everything is okay. And it can become like a habit to say, I'm good. I'm fine. Yeah. I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm currently at day 94. Need to complete all K8 video. Oh, that's nice. You're very close. You're very close. Yeah. And take your time. Okay. Yeah, take your time. No need to rush about it. Because in the end, we are just learning. Okay. Even if it takes longer, it is still okay. As long as in the end you win by learning and understanding the concept. And once you understand the concepts, we're in a time where we have AI, okay? It can write for you these scripts very fast and you can always read through them, edit, reprompt to make them better. Okay. Yeah. As long as you understand the concepts, you'll be good. Yeah. Very happy that you're doing well. So we lint, okay, and we set string. So you see that string I was showing you right here, which was empty for the project config and namespace. Okay, these are the strings I told you we shall set. Okay, when we're now running. So you see, set string Doppler project, okay, is equals to Doppler project. Set string Doppler.config equals to Doppler config. So the value in these variables will be the strings. Set string manage secret.namespace becomes the namespace. Okay, so we're just linting, making sure that the format is structurally correct. Then we come down here and now create the actual this Doppler secret custom resource. Okay, by doing Doppler upgrade install. Okay, we specify the release name. Okay, specify the name of the chat, and this chat, okay, this chat is this here. Okay, is referring to this chat here. Okay, you see it, Helm backend secrets. Okay, now we're installing our Helm chat. Okay, specify the context. Okay, specify the the cube context, the namespace. Okay. Then we set the strings again. Okay. The Doppler project, we set a string for the Doppler config, set a string for the manage secret dot namespace. As simple as that. You get. Yeah. Actually, this. Oh, I thought I was going. I'd made a repetition, but this is different because this is the operator namespace, and this is the namespace for our, what is it called? Our backend API and worker. But even then, I could make them the same. Okay, could make them the same. The render tech is asking a question: when do you plan on the videos on agentic AI? Yeah, actually, I want to do that. I want to admit something. I think I rushed through certain things. Okay, when I was doing microservices video, I thought people were not so much interested in it, so I wrapped it up. But on day 16, in the comment section, people were like, "Oh, is this the end? Can you do more? I have an interview," and it disturbed me. Okay, and yet by that time I had moved on to system design, so people were asking for microservices, and it had moved on away from it, and people began demanding for it like 2 months later, which means people were learning at their own pace, which is good. Okay, so I feel like I have a debt to finish that playlist of microservices. Okay. I want to take it to production with Kubernetes, like this, what is it called? Like this project we're doing right now. Okay. To production. I feel I have that debt. I have it for microservice, for, I mean, system design. I feel like I need to do system design of more applications, minimum applications, not for the sake of YouTube, but also for improving myself. So I think system design is something I should be doing. I should do a project on system design maybe every 2 months, indefinitely. Okay. Because tech and problems will always be different. It is something I have on my mind. Then I had the issue of AI. Okay. But I think once, let me do this. Okay. Let me focus on wrapping up this project. Okay. I want to finish this project, the main things of it this month. Okay. Even this week is actually possible. Okay. Depending on how life goes. Because remember, in the past, I got so busy that I could have like one stream in a week. Sometimes I would spend like 2 weeks without a stream. Okay. But now it would be far. So once that is done, then we can do agentic AI. Okay. I can start releasing videos on how to build AI agents. Okay. When I've done the videos on how to build AI agents, then I can apply them to this project. Remember, in the past, I did live streams when I was studying Kubernetes, and now we are implementing those concepts here. So, in the same way, I can do a whole playlist, okay, on agentic AI, how to build AI agents, okay? So, we build AI agents 100%. Then we can carry that concept and apply it here. You get to this project. Okay, as something which is not like mandatory. So after that playlist of agentic AI, you can apply it to this or another project. Then later I'm thinking of doing something about LLMs, okay, an LLM course, because you can be an agentic AI engineer without going deep into LLMs, okay. But I feel like if you do LLMs at the core, okay, and get to understand how a tokenizer works, okay? You get to understand the whole tokenization process. You get to understand core NLP tasks, okay? How to do named entity recognition, how to do translation, okay? What it means to have, how to have an encoder model, what it means to have a decoder model, what it means to have an encoder decoder model, and how those two operate together, okay? And different NLP tasks, okay? You'll see how amazing it is. So yeah. Narada says I have learned agentic RAG system. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And also actually in the playlist of agentic AI, we shall talk about agentic RAG. Okay. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So actually my plan, like I've already told you guys going forward, okay? The things that I want to focus on is system design, AI engineering, DevOps, system design, AI engineering, DevOps. And of course, once you do a DevOps, you'll be tying in with what? The backend. Okay. You're forced to touch the backend, which means we shall either go into things, always deal with projects concerning Django, concerning Fast API, concerning maybe Express, Node.js, Nest, anything. Okay. because I want to reach a level whereby projects can be, I can deploy any kind of project. Okay, if you give me an Express project, I deploy it. Okay, I do the DevOps. A Java project, deploy, especially Java. Okay, I learned Java. Java was the language that introduced me to the world of tech. I would like to get into it, but of course not now. That would be, that's a future long way roadmap. Okay. All right. Let me. What's this? Oh, sorry. The cursor was confusing me. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let's. Yeah. Let's continue. So let's say, to be safe, okay, by end of this month, we get into agentic AI. It will be nice. I can't wait for that. Yes, you can ask your question. All right. So as you're typing your question, I can explain this block. So right here now, we do again what we've been doing again and again and again and again. You get, it says kubectl minus context. We pass the context again. This is now a song. You must even be tired of seeing this. We specify the context. Okay. We specify the namespace. Then we wait. Okay. This wait is very important. Okay. Because we don't want to deploy, we don't want our migration job to run, we don't want the API to be deployed and the worker to be deployed until the secrets have been synced or got. You get? Yeah. So we are waiting. What are we waiting for? A particular condition. So like I told you, this backward slash simply means we are breaking a command to the next line. So we say for a condition that secrets.doppler.com secret sync ready. Okay. We want the Doppler secrets to be synced and ready for use. You get. Then we can now say Doppler forward slash Doppler secret forward slash, then we put that secret name, okay, from our variable. So every time you see a $sign and curly braces in a shell script, it's simply a variable. Okay, you're going to use a value of a variable. Then you have a timeout. Okay, as simple as that. So you do not wait forever. Okay, if things fail, let them fail in a particular time. Okay, so I'll continue. I want to change the screen to enable me see questions in a wider angle. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be waiting for your question, Nareda. Let me continue. Where was I? Okay, now then here. So here, these are just describe commands. Okay. Again, pass the context, particular namespace. Okay. It's very good to be intentional when you're dealing with these DevOps tasks. Okay. Then you simply say describe. Okay. Describe that Doppler secret. Okay. Just to get information about it. Okay. And the extra information will be things like showing the status, okay, and key names without having to decode anything, okay. So we do it for we describe the Doppler secret, then we describe the secret called backend secrets, okay. Again, always pass the context and the namespace. Then we validate the Helm chart for the backend, okay. As simple as that. Then we go again to install the Helm chart for the backend, saying Helm upgrade install. We specify the release name, the location of the backend Helm chart, put the cube context, the namespace, okay, the -m, the values, reset values, wait for jobs, and timeout, okay. Then we continue, okay. We say kubectl, okay. We come here, okay. We specify the context, specify the namespace, okay. Then we simply check the rollout status, okay, with the timeout also, okay. Actually, if we were in the terminal, okay, you'd realize that we wouldn't need to put these two lines, okay. Let me just edit them. Let me do this, okay. This is how the command would be. You get, let me Control Z, okay. Yeah. So after that, we have the same thing, okay. Another rollout status. So the first one, we're getting the rollout status for the API, okay. That's how you see deployment, backend release, then dash API. Then here we have dash worker. Then at the end, we simply print, okay? We print a number of things, including where you can access the URLs for the liveness and readiness probes. But again, we have here on this line, okay, simply command to help you with port forwarding, okay, tells you kubectl, okay, specifies the context for you, okay, and it says port forward the service / API to that port, all these ports, okay, from our computer to the internal, okay. So let's run it and we see. It's quite easy, nothing actually complex. So I'll clear my terminal, okay, and run the script. If you do not run the script, okay, you simply come up here and be a lazy programmer, okay, copy, paste, okay, let me drag it up. So you see, saying using kubectl context, application namespace, blah, blah, blah. Let me go back up, okay. It operated faster than I can speak. So we see using application namespace error dev, using Doppler project config, fast API backend, dev personal. I think it picked from the repository. Says Doppler has been added to your repositories. Hang tight while we grab the latest from your chat repositories. Says successfully got an update from the Doppler chat repository. Says update complete, happy helming. Says release Doppler operator has been upgraded, happy helming. Then it gives us the name of the operator, when it was last deployed, the namespace, okay, Doppler operator system, status deployed, the revision is 7, description upgrade complete, test suite none, okay. It says to configure, to give you a number of nodes, okay. So we have that done, okay. Then we have linting, okay, linting the Helm bucket secrets, okay. It passes, everything is okay. Then we go here, it says release has been upgraded, happy helming, okay. So our release is also okay. It gives you the name, okay, as error backend secrets, gives you the time it was last deployed, the namespace, blah blah blah, okay. We go to the Doppler secrets.doppler, okay. It says the condition has been met. It gives you the name, namespace, the labels, annotations, lots of information, metadata, okay, the spec, you get lots of stuff, okay. We have another one, description, okay, lots of stuff, okay. And look at the what do you call the actual secrets, okay. We have the access token expires algorithm, Amadeus API key, Amadeus secret, Amadeus base URL, Cloudinary URL, the course origin, database URL, Doppler config, so many environment variables, okay, and secrets. See, enable rate limiting, okay, flight service provider, Gemini API key. Remember, we used AI at some point, the guide API key, the Google keys, the mail keys, okay, the PayPal keys, Redis secret key. Nice. We have our linting for another chat, okay. Then you have the release error backend being deployed successfully, okay. Maybe it was nice to I had to put maybe some lines, okay, to separate those print statements, okay. Then at the end here, and already I've seen your question, I'm going to answer you. Then we have here the helper, okay, for kubectl. So I'll get this command of kubectl and paste it, okay. So you see our port forwarding is now working. So I can copy this, okay, curl, go to another terminal, sorry, paste it. Sorry, I was supposed to say curl, okay, say curl first, then paste the command. So you see, live, status live is okay. Then I can do same for the readiness probe, say / ready, hit enter. Are you seeing? Let me do this so that you can see the full. So the first one is live, okay. Next one is ready. So they're all working. And if you come to this spot, you see it says handling connection for 8,000. We have run 4 requests and it has handled 4 requests, so 4 connections. So things are okay, okay? So tell me, do you think this script should handle installing things like K3D, creating the cluster, building the image, importing the image into that cluster, asking it to authenticate with Doppler, installing Helm, installing kubectl? What do you think? Or should we keep it simple? Since we've been building this project, I expect everybody to have those things, okay? So that you don't hassle. But me, I see it's good enough. Now, time for questions, okay? Time for questions. Drag the screen. He says, why don't you use Ansible? I always see you writing shell scripts. Is there any particular reason for it? Okay. Great question. Why do I always use Ansible? So Ansible, for those who don't know, Ansible is a tool that can help you with configuration management, right? If I'm wrong, okay? And back then, I think I used a tool called Puppet, but of course later Ansible got so efficient and overpowered it, okay? I have no particular reason. Maybe what could explain is my background, okay? I came from a background where writing shell scripts was a very, very common thing. So it is just built into, can I call it, my subconscious and my mind at certain times when you want to do something quick, okay? Every time you want to automate, go to a shell script. That's the honest and best explanation I can give you. But yeah, we can do Ansible. Yeah. And actually I think I've eliminated many shell scripts. If you look at actually this .github, okay? The scripts I'm going to eliminate. Look at this script here, okay? It's not that big or huge, but the scripts I want to eliminate. Yeah. I don't know. Have I answered your question? And actually, I need to learn about Ansible. The last time I actually used Ansible, I was doing a course way back, maybe in 2020 or 2021. I don't know. Yeah, but Ansible is a nice tool. It's an awesome tool. So let me see. Time for questions. Time for questions. I will see where to apply Ansible. We'll complete this project onto DevOps. Then after learn agentic AI, then we are applying it. Is the plan. Says Roll Royce. Yes, that is correct. So right now, like you're seeing, my goal is to take the backend you've been seeing here, we're building, okay, to be able to deploy it on EKS, okay, via GitHub Actions. You get what you've been seeing me run. This script here has been a developer only operation. You get has been a developer only operation. Then later, okay, not later, maybe even this week, okay, because I already skip a day, then I have a live stream. We're going to push it. Want our code with a git push goes to GitHub. When it goes to GitHub, we want our CI to do the tests, build our image, okay? Go push the image to ECR, okay? Go to AWS, this time EKS, okay? Push everything. Because when Helm is deploys, okay, things are going to be pushed today to the Kubernetes operator, the EKS control plane. Okay? Then the control plane using EKS Auto Mode will see, okay, these pods need resources. Then a node is created for that. Then pods are created. Then applications are built. Okay, other the containers are run. Yeah. So once we have that, which is not going to take long. Okay, we have that. Okay, with what's that tool? I'm forgetting it that people like Argo CD. We can see how to do Argo CD in a very basic way. Yeah. But even better you can do this project without Argo CD. And I'm going to show you that. Without Argo CD, then we shall put Argo CD. Then after that, okay, we go to agentic AI. Okay. After agentic AI, then we use that knowledge of agentic AI to build an AI agent here. Okay, in this project. Then going forward, we can always use AI agents. Yeah. But then, let me tell you something. This project, okay, if you look at it carefully, and with how like like how time and life takes you, okay, how you hustle, you can even build it for another 2 months. Why? Let me show you this. Where's this directory? I'm looking for it. This directory. I see this directory here called mobile. It's empty. Okay. It is empty. But I can do something simple. Okay. Which only actually I can build a mobile app which makes use of that AI agent. This is what I think. Okay. Expose an API okay, that can communicate to this AI agent. Okay, and the mobile app consumes it as a front end. So your mobile app as a front end consuming that API for the mobile agent, mean for the AI agent, whereby the mobile app is simply an interface for the AI agent. That can also happen, by the way. And I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Let me not get ahead of myself. Narendra, please let me know if I've answered your question. Royce, let me know if I've satisfied your thoughts. Let me see. All right, Ansible. Yeah, you've got my mind thinking by about Ansible. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we can use Ansible to replace many shell scripts, but not all. I'm just thinking about it deeply. Ansible may not replace all shell scripts, by the way. Yeah. Because when I think about Ansible is just like a declarative way of doing things. Okay. Then a shell script is a imperative way. Okay. You're saying run these commands. Okay. But in Ansible, you're saying this is how the system will look. You get. Yeah. So, and how I think about them is like this. Ansible, I would use Ansible for configuring and managing servers. You get. But then a shell script, I'll use it for local automations. Of course, you can use a shell script for managing your servers, but Ansible is best at that. Okay. Yeah. And it has built-in error handling. That's what I like about Ansible, if I remember well. But with shell script, you have to handle it by yourself. Okay. Yeah. So of course, Ansible would be good like when you're installing packages, we're creating users and groups, managing configuration files, stopping or starting services, deploying apps, managing multiple servers. But the same things that we're going to see, and yeah, you'll see how we work with it. Yeah. Actually, if you think about them, okay, Ansible, okay, does Ansible actually, hey, think about this, guys, okay? This goes not to only Nareda, but everybody else. Ansible, if you think about it carefully, Ansible also calls shell scripts. I don't know if I can show an example. Looking for my course. It's something I did long time ago when I was studying some course. This was a good question. Let me see. Ansible actually, you'll use shell scripts. We did a project with some guys, and we were actually dealing with a certain project. And that project, we actually discovered that Ansible does not eliminate shell scripts. Okay, it actually calls them. You'll call when needed. Okay, when you're using the shell command or script modules. Okay, you'll do that. And so the whole goal is when you have Ansible modules, use them. Okay, use shell scripts when there is no suitable Ansible module. Yeah. So I like to think of Ansible as replacing shell scripts for infrastructure automation. Okay. Then shell scripting remains like for general purpose command line automation. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to automate your infrastructure creation, use Ansible. I don't think I can find it. I'll ask some guys in the not my but a WhatsApp group that we use. Some of these guys are probably even sleeping right now. They can't respond. Let me just ping them. They'll see when they wake up, and then they can find it. They'll share it with me. Then in the next live stream, I'll share it with you guys, and you'll see how we were using Ansible. And actually, it was actually calling other shell scripts to help manage infrastructure. But right now, The infrastructure is going to be done for us, by the way, by EKS Auto Mode. You can look at the past live streams to see how that happened. We won't suffer. As long as we say Helm, upgrade, minus minus install, the infrastructure will be created for us. Okay, good, understood. I will always come and learn things for you. And I'll continue it, says Roy says, from AI agents, can we do like this? We will come in one meet, like setup, okay? One meeting setup, Google Meet or something, discuss and learn, and we'll record that video and put it on YouTube. Oh, that's a good idea, by the way. Yeah, we can discuss and learn AI agents and then record that video and put it on YouTube. Does Google Meet record? Yeah, if they do, that would be nice. I remember Zoom used to do that. Yeah, nice idea. Yeah. So I think in the last stream, I'll share a link to that, okay? So that people can join. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we discuss learning in that meeting where we can have a back and forth one-on-one and then record the video, put it on YouTube. Perfect. Thank you for your answer. In the same project, if an AI agent could continuously monitor the logs and automatically fix any issues it takes, it would be very helpful for real-time operations. I like that. I like that. This is what I think. Okay, I'm going to admit something. I have my trust issues concerning AI. Nareda, I like your idea. I want to put a twist to it. Think about this. If the AI agent monitors the logs, okay, but instead of fixing, okay, it can fix, it can propose a solution, let us say to a particular branch, okay, then it pings us, the humans, okay, then we go and read the problem, okay, we look at its solution and either can accept that solution, change the solution, improve the solution, or create another solution. Yeah, then we merge. I think the final, we should be the final guys to decide whether that solution is good, whether we can improve it, or we merge it. I don't know what you guys think, but I kind of have issues with AI. Trust me, I have some pain. Recently, I was working for a startup, I think 2 months ago. Yeah, we learned the hard way. We learned the hard way. Accepting things, and then we had to spend another whole week fixing things manually. I won't go through that pain anymore, ever. I saw that. It was really painful. Yes, it will create PL and will merge after test human in loop. Yeah, we need a human in the loop. Yeah, perfect idea. So we have really good use cases for the AI agent. Yeah, so for the having Google Meets, perfect. Yeah, so for those Google Meets, we shall need to all agree on a common time where we can meet and discuss very deeply when to meet, how long to meet, the structure and format of those meetings. What else? When to meet, structure and format of the meeting, how long. Can we keep changing to favor people in different time zones? Okay, because right now it is morning for me, but other people it could be, I don't know, either afternoon or night. So we can switch. Like me, right now we can favor my morning. Another time we favor someone's morning elsewhere, which could be my night, and that should be okay with me doing that meeting at midnight. Then another time it could be someone's afternoon. We favor them because maybe after that, like just an idea. All right. Thank you everyone for joining today's live stream. Nareda, it's nice to hear from you after a long time. I hope you have a good one at your work. Rolls Royce, I like that. Really, really, really like your idea. I love it 100%. Thank you for joining. And says thanks for the consideration. I really appreciate your idea. Yeah, that's why I'm saying we'll start from agentic so that more people would join as it is something new. Yes, exactly. And Nareda confirms that. Awesome, guys. Yeah, we'll do that. And I think I'll share in the community post when the time comes, and also I'll announce it in the streams. And what else? What else? Yeah, we will see. The whole goal is to announce it early, okay, really early, so that everybody gets to know about it. And then actually we can use Discord for that. The Discord channel, of course, is, I mean, the server is not as active, but that can be a chance for us to use it. Okay, yeah, can use it, and we can even have registrations. I don't know if Google Meet does not have. I can have a form. Yeah, a Google form for that. Then we record, and I'll confirm if Google Meet has registrations. Not registrations, recordings. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now. See you in the next one.